A year later, and I'm still banned for speaking out about the media. My options: work a minimum wage job or my passion, and do what I believe is right to show why my media career has come to a halt. EJ Manuel's current reputation is just an example of the madness the media creates when its audience allows it to trash players unjustly for ratings. Opening drive, 8 in the box, play action. Charles Clay sneaks past the linebackers on a post route, initially looks like a poor throw, but gains 19. A second look shows Michael Johnson stutter stepping past Jerome Felton, getting a hand in his face. Manuel takes a limited window over scrambling left. 2 runs set up 3rd and 3. Charles Clay hitches against off coverage, clean pocket, easy throw, picks up 5. Second look shows EJ reading the blitz before completing the first down. Next play, Robert Woods in motion, play action. Goodwin's streak sets a pick, Clay opens the flat for Woods, gains 8. Second look shows the linebackers keeping their eyes in the backfield, allowing Woods to sneak open. Great play call. 3rd and 1, QB sneak gains 2. Linebackers react late. Bills O-line paves the way, first down. 2 runs set up 3rd and goal. Quarterback draw to the right. EJ scores practically untouched. Second look shows good angle blocking. Key chop blocks by Chris Gregg and Boobie Dixon. Next drive, outside wide receivers go deep versus off coverage. Charles Clay does a blocking route to the flat. EJ chooses the open guy over waiting for the others. Linebacker closes quick to limit the gain to 1. Second look shows EJ reading the defense before checking down. Credit the Bengals for the quick open field swarm. 3rd and 3, single high safety, meaning a one-on-one for Watkins on a timing comeback route. Dre Kirkpatrick stumbles but luckily recovers to break up the play. Zoomed in look for those who missed it. Watkins turns into a wall. Next drive, Charles Clay curls, jukes, and lunges ahead for 7 yards. Second look, clean pocket, quick, easy throw as the linebacker is slow to cover. Clay does the rest. 2nd and 3, single high safety. EJ sees Woods in an obvious one-on-one, makes a decision pre-snap. Kirkpatrick bumps the inside shoulder to slow him down. Second look shows the blitz pushing the pocket back and forcing him to hurry his throw. Woods had his route redirected. Trust backfires there. 3rd and 3, single high safety. Woods is open on a hitch, but EJ wants the streaking Hogan, who has the edge inside. Pass is slightly underthrown. Second look shows Carlos Dunlap leaping, forcing EJ to hesitate and try to throw over. Risky decision burns him here, but it had potential. Next drive, quarterback option. Charles Clay misses his block on Will Clark. EJ shrugs off an initial tackle, but Cordy Glenn loses the linebacker, and he's stopped for no gain. Second look shows McCoy selling the play fake, and EJ trying to make something out of nothing. Lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 3, single high safety. Bills set 2 picks. Dan Herron trips up, and Glenn gets backed in, forcing EJ to roll left. With only an awkward throw to Goodwin, he tries to buy more time and gets intentional grounding. Second look shows Bengals over-under setting the edge outside, leaving EJ with really nothing to do but throw it away. Next drive, 2nd and 14, Clay in motion. Bengals show cover 2 and rush 4 while Mulligan and McCoy block. Fake screen gets Clay open, but a poor throw from EJ. Second look shows EJ pump fake. Wallace Gilberry gets around Cordy Glenn and hits EJ's left arm as he throws, altering his momentum. 3rd and 14. Bengals drop 7 in coverage, leaving Chris Hogan wide open over the middle. Not enough for the first, but EJ didn't have time to wait. Second look shows the pocket getting pushed back. Hogan initially has space, but he gets swarmed fast. 3rd and long is tough. Next drive, play action, roll out right. Clay gets open in the flats as EJ is chased. He makes a quick high throw, but it gains 6. Second look shows a weak block from Clay, and an unchecked edge setter bearing down on EJ. Awkward jump throw turns into a positive. After a run, 1st and 10. Screen to McCoy, whose shiftiness makes up for blocking miscues, manages to pick up 3 yards. Second look shows Incognito's weak chip-in, leaving Eric Wood to block air. McCoy is forced to cut back into a swarm. 2nd and 7. Watkins does a hitch. EJ hits him on time for 8 yards. Second look shows a clean pocket as Kawanjo recovers. Watkins locates the marker and extends. Miscommunication on the handoff shown by EJ's reaching arm causes an improvised quarterback draw. Second look, Dan Herron was signed 12 days prior. EJ uses him as a shield for a yard. 2nd and 9. Bengals initially show single high safety, but drops 7. Herron is wide open on the stab route. He gains 8. Second look, clean pocket, easy throw, room to run. Swarm. 3rd and 6 due to holding. Bengals disguise their blitz, but EJ notices off coverage on Robert Woods, waits for his break, and gains 9 on the hitch. Second look shows Incognito recognizing over-under, and McCoy's blitz pickup. Clean pocket makes an easy throw for EJ. EJ sees off coverage on Watkins' hitch. Hogan's post sets a pick on the nickel corner, giving EJ a bigger window. gains 9. Second look shows a clean pocket, easy throw as Darqueze Dennard is late to his zone. After a run, 1st and 10, Bengals drop 7. Lane created on the right is more appealing, but it closes for a sack. Second look shows Brandon Thompson spin past John Miller, and EJ stumbles into a 2-player sack. 2nd and 10, Watkins slant against off coverage. Hogan's post delays the linebacker in zone, giving Watkins space to lunge for 9 yards. Second look shows a clean pocket, easy throw, and Vincent Ray's pursuit. 3rd and 1, QB sneak. EJ lunges ahead for the 1st down. Second look shows guards going low to help push the middle forward. 1st and 10, 33 seconds. Bengals in cover 2. Clay's open on a dig, shakes off the contact, and heads out of bounds. Gains 7. Second look shows Glenn getting backed in might have caused a slightly behind throw. Clay adjusts, using size on Pac-Man Jones. 2nd and 3, trips bunch. Watkins streaks behind Clay's flag route. EJ rolls right, attracting attention, freeing Watkins wide open for a score. Second look shows Kouandjio getting beat, forcing EJ right. Ray has middle zone. Dennard leaves coverage to prevent scramble. Watkins gets injured, coming back from the ball. Second half, 3 runs lead to 2nd and 7. Charles Clay goes in motion in the flat, creating a bigger window to Woods on the dig. Reggie Nelson slips and recovers to limit 8 yards. Second look shows the defense shifting, a clean pocket, Ray Malaluga stuck in the middle zone, and an open Robert Woods. 1st and 20 due to holding, 5 wide. McCoy's open on a hitch. Dunlap leaps and bats it down. Second look. Dunlap backs in Kouandjio and reacts to EJ. 2nd and 20, 5 wide again. Heron hitches against off coverage, picks up 9 yards before 2 players bring him down. Second look, Gilbert over unders too late. EJ has an easy throw, Heron does the rest. 3rd and 11, Bengals fake showing blitz and drop 7. Clay's post sets a pick for Greg's hook, but Malaluga plays the middle zone perfectly and limits him to 6 yards. Second look shows Dunlap a few seconds away from getting to EJ, so he tried the best target at the time. Next drive, 2nd and 6. EJ throws slightly behind Clay on the out route, and he drops the pass. Second look shows a clean pocket, and Clay has it until Reggie Nelson lays contact. 3rd and 6. Clay outroutes open on Lamore, but Pac-Man baits him, leaving Woods for Iloka to deflect the pass. Second look shows a clean pocket, an accurate throw, but Pac-Man comes out of nowhere to break it up. Next drive, Chris Gregg digs around Emmanuel Lamore. EJ fires off the break to gain 14 yards. Second look shows EJ trusting his read and calmly delivering despite pressure from Geno Atkins. After a run, 2nd and 2, Chris Gregg does a spot route between 2 linebackers. EJ fires in for 5 yards. Second look shows a clean pocket, an easy throw, and a 1st down. Reggie Nelson backs into coverage. Gregg does a deep hook, but pressure forces EJ to dump off to McCoy, who slips. Gain of 1. Second look shows Gregg's in his view, but Michael Johnson pushes inside, so he checks down instead. McCoy falls, trying to juke. 2nd and 9. Robert Woods gets past press coverage, juking Dre Kirkpatrick out of his shoes before lunging ahead for 22 yards. Second look shows EJ reading the defense, steps up, fires on target. Robert Woods does the rest. Single high safety. Iloka creeps into blitz. Hogan does a streak, but Pac-Man stays in stride, tangling legs, falling short of the throw. Second look shows McCoy pick up the blitz. A clean pocket. Hogan, Pac-Man canceling each other out. 2nd and 10. Iloka cheats over. Hogan hitched and goes. Pressure forces a quick throw. Gregg stabs for 10 yards. Second look shows 2 defensive tackles over under, pushing back. EJ plays safe, gets 1st down. Gregg's out route sets a pick for the double slant. Pressure forces EJ to step up and scramble. He shows some athleticism, cutting and lunging for 16 yards. Second look shows Kouandjio and Wood losing their blocks. EJ shakes off a grab. Hogan's slant cuts off Malaluga's pursuit. EJ displays vision. McCoy runs the next play. Last drive. Clay curls with Michael Johnson covering. EJ sees the mismatch, fires for 8 yards. Second look shows a clean pocket. McCoy's blitz pickup, and Clay stumbling into a tackle. 2nd and 2. Bengals play zone. Woods sets a pick for Clay on the out. Kirkpatrick keeps him in bounds. Gain of 4. Second look shows Incognito beat on the over-under. EJ makes the smart throw. Gregg post routes wide open over the middle past Sean Williams. EJ sees and delivers. Gregg wisely cuts toward the sideline for 19 yards. Second look shows Glenn and Miller being pushed back. EJ reading linebackers and taking a hit after he throws. Gregg is underrated. Possible screen here, but it's hard to tell. Dunlap gets through with the sack. Second look shows Dunlap juking Kouandjio inside. EJ braces for it. 2nd and 17. Clay spot routes wide open over the short middle. Bad drop here. Second look shows pressure from the ends. EJ steps up and is accurate. Clay's at fault here. 3rd and 17. Charles Clay Q routes. Pressure from the ends forces EJ to take the safe option for 5 yards. Second look shows late reactions by Glenn and Kouandjio. Clay is open and almost breaks 2 tackles. Too many Bengals. 4th and 12. Hogan does an intermediate hitch. EJ fires off the break. Hogan shakes a tackle and drags forward 23 yards. Second look shows McCoy's blitz pickup to clean the pocket. Hogan juggling and cutting to gain more yards. 1:20 left, spikes it. 2nd and 10. Bills send 4 streaks, setting a dump to McCoy. Pressure from the left, alters the throw. Second look shows Glenn and Incognito getting backed in. McCoy takes a wider route to the flats. 3rd and 10. 1 minute left. Bengals protect deep and the sideline. Woods gets 15 yards on the dig, but it gets called back on holding. Second look shows Miller struggling to disengage, and he holds to prevent a sack. EJ takes the easy throw. 3rd and 20. 51 seconds left. Pressure forces EJ to step up. Hogan does a deep dig, dives, and drops it. Second look shows Glenn getting beat outside. EJ has to rush with a low throw, but gets it off before taking a hit. 4th and 20, 46 seconds left. 3 weapons versus 7 in coverage. Woods does a corner route. Pressure forces an overthrow. Second look shows Miller getting beat. EJ dances in the pocket to buy time. Overthrows before getting hit. That's a wrap for this game's film. I don't know about the rest of you, but I've had it with the exaggeration from the media. They either don't care who they trash, aren't educated enough, or just too lazy to watch the film. In my 4th episode, I will include a montage of harsh, unfair criticism from the Buffalo media. Until then, keep this on-air confession by Mike Shope of WGR 550 in mind.
This, real quick, because I should get slapped if I go on for this. This show is not always an exercise in identifying perfectly what the thing is in a football game that mattered the most. It's also, trying to cultivate an audience, trying to keep an audience. Quarterback is important. It's never that the guard position is more important. But, yeah, of course we dwell on the quarterback because we want people to listen to the show. That's what people care about mostly. So now you know that secret.